The avocado looks simple, a green fruit with creamy flesh, a large seed, and a reputation for being healthy, trendy, and slightly expensive. But behind that familiar shape is a much bigger story. This is a fruit that began in the Americas thousands of years ago, became a staple in many traditional diets, and later turned into a symbol of modern global food culture. Today, avocados appear in breakfast bowls, salads, sandwiches, smoothies, vegan recipes, and restaurant menus around the world. They are praised for their texture, their rich flavor, and their unusual fat content. But they are also connected to some of the hardest questions in agriculture: how much water food should require, what happens when demand explodes, and who pays the hidden cost of a fashionable crop. The avocado tree, known scientifically as Persea americana, belongs to the laurel family. That connects it, botanically, to plants such as bay laurel and cinnamon rather than to many of the fruits people might casually compare it with. It is an evergreen tree, meaning it keeps its leaves throughout the year, and it evolved in warm regions of the Americas. Its native range stretches broadly from Mexico through Central America and into parts of northern and western South America, including areas toward Peru. Long before it became a supermarket product, people in these regions knew the avocado as a valuable food source. Archaeological evidence suggests humans were using avocados thousands of years ago, not as a novelty, but as a meaningful part of local food systems. One reason the avocado stood out is its fruit. Unlike many sweet fruits that are built around sugar and water, avocado flesh is dense, oily, and filling. That made it unusually useful. In traditional diets, a fruit with natural fat and energy could be more than a snack. It could help support meals in a serious way. The names alligator pear and avocado pear point to how people tried to describe it by comparison: pear-like in shape, sometimes rough-skinned like reptile hide, but unlike almost anything else in texture. When ripe, the flesh of many domestic varieties becomes smooth, buttery, and golden green. That texture is one of the main reasons the fruit became so adaptable. It can be sliced, mashed, blended, spread, or used as a creamy substitute in recipes that avoid dairy or meat. Botanically, the avocado is also stranger than it first appears. The fruit is classified as a large berry with a single large seed. That may sound surprising because, in everyday language, people rarely think of something this size and shape as a berry. But botanical categories are based on how fruits develop, not on how they look in a grocery store. The seed is a central part of the avocado's identity: large, smooth, and impossible to miss. In the wild, that seed would have been part of the plant's reproductive strategy. The modern avocado varieties people buy today, however, are not simply wild fruits brought unchanged into supermarkets. They are the result of selection, cultivation, and propagation aimed at producing predictable size, flavor, texture, and harvest performance. Modern science has added another layer to the avocado story. Genome sequencing has shown that avocado evolution was shaped by polyploidy events, meaning that at points in its evolutionary history, the plant's genetic material duplicated in ways that influenced its development. Commercial varieties also have hybrid origins. That matters because the avocados sold today are not one uniform natural object. They are cultivated results of biology and human preference working together. Farmers often propagate avocado trees through grafting. Instead of growing every tree from seed and accepting unpredictable results, growers attach plant material from a desired variety onto compatible rootstock. This helps maintain consistent fruit quality and output, which is essential for commercial agriculture. In other words, the avocado industry depends not only on nature, but on careful replication. Avocado trees have another interesting feature: they are partly self-pollinating, but their pollination behavior can be complicated. Commercial growers often need to think carefully about varieties, flowering patterns, and orchard layout to improve fruit set. The goal is simple: more reliable production, but the biology behind it is not always simple. This is one reason agriculture is never just planting trees and waiting. A successful avocado orchard is a managed system involving climate, soil, irrigation, pollination, pruning, harvesting, and timing. Even after the fruit grows, the commercial process is unusual. Avocados are typically picked while still unripe, then ripened after harvest. That allows them to travel through supply chains without turning to mush too early, but it also means the avocado on a kitchen counter has already passed through a carefully timed logistical journey. The avocado's global rise is tied to both climate and cuisine. The trees grow best in tropical and Mediterranean-type climates, which is why production has expanded in regions that can offer warmth, suitable soils, and enough water. Countries across different continents now cultivate avocados, but Mexico dominates global production. As of 2023, Mexico supplied about 29% of a global harvest of roughly 10.5 million tons. That scale is important. Avocados are no longer a small regional specialty. They are an international commodity moving through supermarkets, restaurants, export agreements, and consumer trends. When a crop reaches that level, popularity creates pressure. Farmers respond to demand, land use shifts, and local growing regions can become deeply tied to the fortunes of a single fruit. Part of the demand comes from nutrition and culinary identity. Avocado flesh is nutrient-dense and high in fat, but it is mostly known for the kind of rich mouthfeel that makes food satisfying. In modern diets, this has made it especially popular among people looking for plant-based sources of creaminess and energy. For vegetarian and vegan cooking, avocado can replace textures that might otherwise come from butter, cheese, mayonnaise, or cream. It also pairs easily with acidic, salty, spicy, and fresh ingredients. That versatility helps explain why it appears in so many cuisines and formats. The avocado is not only sold as a fruit, it is sold as a lifestyle object, healthy, fresh, natural, premium, and visually attractive. Its green color became part of its brand. But the same qualities that made avocado popular also helped create its controversy. Avocado farming can be water-intensive, and in major production regions such as Chile, Mexico, and California, that water demand can strain local resources. This does not mean every avocado is produced under identical conditions, but it does mean the crop can become a serious issue in places already facing drought, heat, or competition over water. When global consumers expect year-round availability, production regions may carry environmental burdens that are invisible at the point of purchase. A smooth avocado on toast can seem disconnected from aquifers, irrigation systems, dry communities, and changing rainfall patterns. The central tension is that the fruit feels natural and wholesome, while its large-scale production can be resource-heavy. Water is not the only concern. Avocado production has also been linked to deforestation in some areas. When a crop becomes highly profitable, land can be converted to meet demand. Forests, diverse agricultural landscapes, or less intensive land uses may give way to orchards. That shift can affect biodiversity, soil stability, and local ecosystems. The problem is not unique to avocados. Many global commodities create similar pressures. But avocados are especially symbolic because they are marketed as clean, healthy, and ethical. Consumers often associate them with wellness, yet the supply chain may involve complex trade-offs. This is why sustainability conversations cannot stop at whether a food is plant-based. A plant-based food can still have a heavy environmental footprint depending on where and how it is produced. There is also a human side to the avocado economy. In parts of Mexico, avocado production has been associated with human rights concerns and the partial control of production by organized crime. That does not mean every grower or every avocado is part of criminal activity, but it shows how valuable agricultural supply chains can attract coercion, corruption, and violence. When a crop becomes globally profitable, it can reshape local power structures. Farmers, workers, transporters, and communities may face pressures that consumers never see. This is one of the uncomfortable truths of global food. The final product can be peaceful, ordinary, and even beautiful, while the path to market may pass through conflict, exploitation, or intimidation. The avocado is not just a food story, it is also a political economy story. Climate change will likely make the avocado story even more complicated. Global warming is expected to shift the regions suitable for avocado cultivation, while also increasing pressure from heat waves and drought in areas where avocados are already grown. Some regions may become less reliable, others may become newly attractive. But moving production is never simple. Orchards take time, infrastructure takes investment, and local communities must deal with the consequences of expansion. The future of the avocado will probably not be a simple choice between eating it or avoiding it entirely. A better question is how it is grown, where it is grown, how supply chains are governed, and whether consumers, companies, and governments are willing to account for the real costs. The avocado became global because it is genuinely useful and delicious. Its next chapter depends on whether that popularity can be matched with responsibility. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.